Good morning. This is Lars Olson, and this is today's Quiet Echo. Saturday morning, the Methodist pastor's boy came in. He is 15. He set a broken pull cord and a fouled spark plug on the counter between us and waited. Then he asked whether my ward needed help with the food drive next Thursday. I did not answer right away. I asked him whether his father had sent him. He said his father had not, exactly. He had heard at supper 2 of our men were down with the flu, and he wanted to come ask himself. I told him yes. He left with a new cord, the spark plug, and a receipt for $14.30. I should tell you who is speaking. I am the bishop of the Cedar Valley ward of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am also, 6 days a week, the owner of Olson's Hardware in Cedar Valley. Many of the same people walk through both doors. The man who comes in on Tuesday for plumbing parts is the man I see in church on Sunday. The woman who tells me at the cash register her father is dying is the woman my second counselor visits the following week. The 2 roles are not separate roles. In a town this size, they are the same role with 2 counters. Sunday evening, in the bishop's office, I told my second counselor about the boy. My counselor is a quiet man. He ran a carpentry crew for 30 years before he was called. Mostly framing crews. He built the bones of houses. He listened, and then said the boy had been listening at his supper table long before Saturday morning, and the rest of us could probably do less of the talking and more of the same. I drove home thinking the counselor had said something I had needed to hear for a while. The same week, in Dallas, a truck pulled up to Joe's Food Pantry, which is run by Catholic Charities. It was the 100th of 250 truckloads the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is delivering this year to food banks in all 50 states' independents, by day, and beyond. The food came from our storehouses. The pantry will feed nearly 34,000 meals worth of Dallas residents from a single truck. Some of it would also go to Soldiers Angels for a new pantry for veterans and military families. David Woodyard, who runs Catholic Charities Dallas, said the partnership with our church sits at the top of his list of collaborators. His chief development officer, Kelly Noonan, called the relationship more than they could have imagined when they started. I read these things at the back of my store on Wednesday morning, between a customer asking about deck stain and another asking about a frozen exterior faucet. Then I went home and ate supper. I thought about the boy. There are towns where the bishop and the Catholic priest never speak. There are towns where the Methodist youth and the LDS youth do not know each other's names. In such towns, a truck arriving is news because it would not have happened otherwise. In Cedar Valley, the truck would have happened anyway. The priest from St. Anne's is in my store every 6 or 8 weeks for a fitting or a flapper or a sash chain. He has been coming in for 19 years. He knows where his sash chains are in my store. He walks the aisle, picks one, brings it to the counter. We talk while I ring it up. We do not talk about theology. We talk about whose son is going off to school, and how the parsonage is doing, and what we are hearing at the school board. The Methodist parsonage roof had a leak 2 springs back, and I sold them the metal flashing at cost because the trustee who came in for it had voted on every school bond Cedar Valley has issued since 1994. The Baptist youth pastor and my second counselor have built 3 wheelchair ramps together in the last 12 months. The most recent one was for a woman in the Baptist congregation whose son works for me Saturdays and had asked his pastor for help. The pastor called my counselor. The counselor brought his tools. The ramp got built. The Baptist son still works for me Saturdays. None of this is a project. None of it earns a press release. The phone numbers were exchanged years ago, at funerals mostly, and at a chamber breakfast in 2011, nobody remembers but everyone showed up for. What the news in Dallas was honoring last Thursday is real, and good, and I am glad for the truck, and for the partnership, and for the food on those Dallas shelves. Faith does not have to agree on the second person of the Trinity to agree on what a hungry child needs. The Methodist pastor's boy is bringing 4 of his friends to help unload the truck on Thursday. 2 of them are not Methodist. None of them are LDS. One is the son of an electrician who came in last week for box staples and stayed 20 minutes because we were both trying to remember the man who taught both of us how to wire a junction box. We never did remember his name. We remembered the shop where he worked, and the cigar he chewed but never lit, and the way he stood when he was explaining something he did not want to have to repeat. The boy did not wait for his father to send him. The part I keep coming back to, all week, is the listening he was already doing at his supper table. Tomorrow morning, call the pastor of a church you do not attend. Ask what is on their list this month. The answer will be shorter than you think, and whatever is on the list, if you have a hand free, lend it. This is Lars Olson, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Cedar Valley News has a Facebook group. If you have comments and want to join the conversation, you are welcome. We would be glad to hear which churches in your town have learned to work together and what they have built. I will put the link in the show notes. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people and town of Cedar Valley are fictional, David Woodyard, Kelly Noonan, Joe's Food Pantry, Catholic Charities Dallas, Soldiers Angels, and the America 250 Food Donation Initiative of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are real.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.